After I made the call on November 2nd that Biden will win 306 electoral college votes, linked to the video of my call above, many viewers and friends have messaged me asking what made me make that call, and some even wanted to know why I changed my Texas call for Biden in the last minute. It was true because in the entire 3 weeks of early voting in Texas, I was like, this is close, Biden can win Texas. And exactly on the nth hour, on November 2nd, I reversed course and wrote off Texas, Florida, North Carolina, Iowa, and Ohio for Trump, while moving Arizona and Georgia for Biden, which resulted in 306 electoral votes. So Texas kept on breaking all sorts of early voting records, and Biden was looking extremely good in the first 2 weeks. Then, as we kept getting closer to the election day, I noticed something unique was going on in Montana and one other red state. I'm not sure which one. It is either Utah or Tennessee, I believe. So, the two red states where Biden had no chance of winning started turning out in record numbers, and both states were leading Florida with early turnout. Now, suddenly, the Texas turnout was not looking like an anomaly, but more of a pattern, a set of red states turning out for Trump. But even then, Biden still had strong numbers to match Trump's election day turnout in the state, which left the state as a winner takes all election day matchup, which meant it was down to Hispanic support levels in the state. And Biden was not at all doing well with Hispanic support in Florida and in Texas. Pollsters were all over the place in measuring Hispanic support for Trump and Biden never really campaigned in the state to drive up his numbers, which meant the status quo will be maintained and Trump will win Texas. And the case was same in Florida as well. Early voting was good, but Republicans were turning out. We did not know which direction independents are going to swing, but Biden was not doing well with Hispanics, and that meant only one thing: Florida was going for Trump. Then North Carolina, the state, I always thought North Carolina to be a tough one for Democrats. The demographics is changing, and I knew it will be close, but Republicans will always have an edge in North Carolina. And I was watching African American turnout, which was good, but it never went too great. To win North Carolina, Democrats need great African American turnout, but they were only getting good, and that meant a close loss. And not for a single time throughout the last 3 months I had any doubt about Biden's chances to win Arizona. And when Cindy McCain endorsed Biden, she drove the final nail into Trump's chances in the state. I am still surprised about the margin. Biden, I think, definitely left a lot of votes on the table. If Democrats are smart enough, Arizona will stay blue for a very long time. Arizona and Wisconsin are the two states where they need to tighten their grip further to keep the Republican Party in check. Georgia, I will put that down to some smart campaigning moves by Biden campaign. They hit the ground and found support from strong local leaders, and the trips by Obama and Biden certainly helped. Georgia has become purple. Democrats will have to keep fighting, and the first step to keeping it blue will be the next governor's race in Georgia. People have voted for a divided government this time. You can see that happening all over the country, and especially in Pennsylvania. There are plenty of counties where Biden was chosen at the top of the ticket and down ballot went to Republicans. It was a clear warning for both the parties. We are watching what you are doing at the top, so get the hell out of the White House is the message to the Republicans. So do not underestimate the magnitude of unseating a president. Since World War II, we have had only 3 presidents relegated to a single term. But the Republicans are trying to spin it as, oh, we won down ballot, so we are good, blah, 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 blah. It was the worst repudiation of the Republican Party at the top of the ticket. At the bottom, the warning signs for the Democratic Party are clear. Unlike these people inside the Democratic Party, I personally talk to people who are outside politics, outside activism, and outside these silos. I talk to them all the time. And I'm yet to find a single person who says I'm 100% behind defund the police. Not a single one. If you agree with that concept, if you understand what defund the police means and how it will get our country ahead, please leave a comment. If not for Biden, the defund the police chorus alone would have been more than enough to hand over Trump the presidency. Thankfully, Biden came out, denounced it, and said that he will put more funds for the police, and voters rewarded his positions. But down ballot Democrats and Senate candidates cannot say the same. Just look at what happened in Maine. Biden won with a huge margin, and so did Susan Collins. So the Democrats asked the keys to the White House, Senate, and the House. The people have said, get into the White House, we are still not sure about giving you the Senate, and we are okay with you barely holding the House. Messages like defund the police is what helps Republicans lie with impunity. Some of these so-called democratic activists live in silos. They just look at the thousands of people who support them and look at the retweets as evidence for widespread support and keep doubling down, which is absolutely not the case on the ground. Tearing down institutions is not how you rebuild them. People don't buy that crap, no matter how many tweets and retweets you get. It only plays into the hands of Republicans. Let's scare the shit out of voters' politics. Due to the nature of the 2020 election results, where Biden was given the mandate to lead the country for the next 4 years, but the House and probably the Senate was split right in the middle. The message from the people of the country is, we are not happy with both of you. And due to that message, Trumpism sadly is not going to end soon. The Trumpian GOP now has a playbook to contest the 2024 presidential election, and it is not going to be pretty. White nationalism is what they will run on in 2024, though they will pick up single voter issues and fiscal conservatism for the 2022 midterms. But there is a problem that they will have to confront. White nationalism and Hispanic support do not reconcile with each other. They somehow managed to scrape through this year doing that, but they were able to do that only because Democrats were dumb enough to allow that to happen. They need to expose the hypocrisy of white nationalism and Latino outreach. The Democrats have to expose that the Republican coalition is actually built on lies, and then they need to use that to win Texas and bring Florida back. Winning Texas, as the 5.2 million plus votes Biden received this year shows, is a possibility. And it is not something that is out of reach for Democrats. But that is the only way to end Trumpism. And if they have to do it, they have to reach out to Hispanics. Thanks for watching. If you like the content, please subscribe.